Whether it's a girls' night out or a night in with sprinkles, the refreshing taste of Kim Crawford makes any moment amazing. Available in Sauvignon Blanc and Rosé. Buy Kim Crawford at orderkimcrawford.com. Make it amazing. Please enjoy our wines responsibly. 2022 Constellation Imports, Rutherford, California, USA.
Of all places. Yeah, I know. Digger Dog, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming on in. Stephen Edmond, nice to see you. The gorgeous Kathy Evans. Penman, how you doing, buddy? Stu Gerson, good to see you. And who else do we have here? Let's see here. Flash Forward, good to have you back, buddy. And George Hernandez. D. Cohen, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. I hope you're enjoying your day. Thank you very much for your love and support of SOR. Let's move on here because we are running out of time. Who else is joining us? Let's see. Got you all there. And we are caught up for right now. And that's a good place to go because that's a good place to go. There we go. I don't know why. You know, I was just on the tech side with StreamYard earlier today, wondering why that's happening, and apparently it's continuing. We'll figure it out. It may happen still during the show, but that's okay. Lala Bright, welcome. You're looking gorgeous. Science Bob, how you doing? And here we go, everyone. We need you all to put your horns up, and let's rock. From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on Odyssey Radio, TalkStream Live, and KPNL. All of our archives are free. Join us at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire, check out our swag as well. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. We got a great show for you tonight. Debz Shakti is here as we are going to get into quantum healing, quantum food, quantum stars, quantum aliens, quantum everything tonight with Deb. I just like saying the word quantum. I'll take a quantum burger with extra onions if you don't mind. I'd appreciate that. Heavy on the cheese, no ketchup or mustard. Keep the pickles away. Anyways, moving on here. In hour number 3, the Swamp Dweller is back with another spooky story. We will also have Super Duke from World Bigfoot Radio here for the Cryptid Report. Shirky Poo has the news. All right. Let's do this thing. Debz Shakti is globally renowned as a professional quantum hypnotherapist and open channel, offering other professional psi services, including energy alchemy, ET contact, and paranormal experience counseling. Boy, do I need some of that. You know, I need some of that like powder. Just throw it all over me. She's the lovingly hosts a long-standing local CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, human-initiated contact and consciousness group, and is an active member of several international CE5 contact teams, researching the infinite nature of consciousness. Yes, she is on the woo train for sure, and we love that around here. Debz has also been the associate producer of a new top-rated film, Alien Abduction, Answers. Her work as the quantum hypnotherapist who worked with John Yost, the filmmaker, as well as with all experiencers in the film, is highly featured. This is good stuff. This is very good stuff tonight. This is a type of programming we love to have here. Debz Shakti, welcome to SOR. How you doing?
Oh, thanks so much, Dave. I am so honored and really humbled to be on this show with all the wonderful guests you've had in the past. I just love it, and thank you for asking me to be on. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? We like this kind of stuff. We're into the woo. We're into it. We love it. And the big thing is, one thing I love about talking to people like you, Debz, is the fact that it really brings home the experience. And for me, in watching this whole UFO drama play out the last 4.5 years, whether it was to the Stars Academy to what we're seeing today with government officials playing the game, NASA playing the game, and many others, is, to me, the homegrown ufology is about the experience and the experiencers. And I just love it, because when people listen to us, they want that true sense of not being scared, but they want to know what's happening to people out there regarding this phenomena. And people like you, we need you around here because we have to be able to get those stories out. So you're actually very important to what we do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's just my calling, is to help people understand what's going on and, at least bring some context into their lives, because it can be very confusing. No matter which end of the spectrum of consciousness you're talking about, there's always something that's very confusing because it's such a vast mystery. We're vast mysteries to ourselves. So, and it's just really interesting. I never have a dull day, ever.
No, me either. Me either. Deb, how did you get started in all of this? Why was this important for you to travel this path?
Well, I kind of came in this way. I came in being able to perceive other dimensions, manipulate energy, have telepathic, or I say telepathic communication with other people, even animals, plants, everything. And had the ability to help people heal. And I just thought everybody lived that way until, I started going to Catholic school and was literally, slapped on the hand, slapped on the head and said, no, we don't talk about this. And so, once I started becoming a teenager, I realized other people were having the same kind of experiences or had grown up that way, or we're starting to wake up and realize that we do have these gifts. And I have to stop here and say, everyone has all these abilities. They're just either latent or dormant. And that's also part of my passion, is to help people understand how to flip those switches and start living more multidimensionally, or more, more consciously, basically. So, by the time I was in high school, I got really, had already been involved in yoga and meditation and all of that stuff. That helped me to bring some texturization to that. And then, studying ancient cultures and their spiritual and texts and things like that, their mystery schools. And then by that time, lots of people were talking. But the thing that really, really got me, by that time I'd gotten into clinical psychology. I was really interested in how meditation and hypnosis were very similar, but one was more controllable, it seemed like, for the other person, if you were working with another person or in groups. And I just started kind of putting two and two together, that maybe some of the things that I knew how to do would work well with the therapy part, to help people understand where they were coming from and where they were going, because it helped me. So it just kind of grew organically. Unfortunately, they don't allow you in the clinical setting to do all this other stuff. So I had to make a choice, and I kind of took off into left field and went off on my own and developed this modality that it features a deep form of hypnosis, but that also engages a lot of the other kind of gifts and helps people go into not just what happened to them during a childhood, for instance, which we do a lot of the time. But what happens when you go into the infinite other versions of your life realities, which quantum science tells us we have? There are infinite universes out there and infinite Earths in those universes and infinite versions of you and infinite versions of you in every other version of life you can imagine. And you can access any of that information you want as long as you kind of know the steps on how to get yourself into a brainwave state to be able to access it. What I call engaging the giant cosmic antenna, the radio transceiver up here in your head in the pineal gland. So that's maybe for a little bit later discussion, but that's the process. I teach people how to do that in the session so that they can do it for themselves if they want to.
I want to ask you, do you recall your first experience with extraterrestrials? What was that like?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had them since birth, maybe pre-birth. I'm sure pre-birth. But the one that I remember earliest, I was probably 2.5, 3 years old. And I was born in Southern California. And so we had this cool little house, like most little California homes in the 50s. A lot of the walls were glass from floor to ceiling because, everybody wanted to see outside. My bedroom had one of those walls, and outside of that glass wall was a beautiful big tree that I loved. And my mom had put me to bed. I had fallen asleep, and I heard this tapping on the glass. And I woke up and saw what looked to me to be monkeys in the tree. But they looked a little bit different. They had huge eyes, and they weren't quite the color of the monkeys. Well, I don't even know if I'd seen monkeys. I just had in my head space monkeys. I didn't know anything about space, and I don't think I'd ever seen a monkey unless it was in an encyclopedia. I don't think I'd even been to the San Diego Zoo by then yet because I was too little. But they were saying in my head, it wasn't out loud, come out and play with us. It was a beautiful night, moonlit night. I could see everything pretty clearly. And being the good little kid, I got out of bed and went to my parents' bedroom, woke up my mom and said, can I go outside and play with the space monkeys in the tree? And she's like, what? And, said, oh, honey, you're dreaming, took me back to bed, gave me a drink of water, patted on the head, kissed me goodnight, tucked me in and said, go to sleep. It was just a dream. And this went on like that for 3 or 4 other times. They would wake me up, say, come outside. I'd go ask permission. And every time, my poor mom by that time had already had a second child and was pregnant with her third child. She's pretty tired. And by that time, she was frazzled. By the third or fourth time, she just was angry, and she put me to bed and she said, look, I don't ever want to hear about those space monkeys again. Don't ever say another word about them. Don't get out of your bed or you're going to get a spanking. And that terrified me. And so I never spoke about them again. But that was the first one that I remember very clearly. And now looking back, they're little grays. But my little child's brain saw, either I saw something that I had seen in a magazine or an encyclopedia and made a screen memory out of it, or they placed that image in my head so that I wouldn't be frightened. And I wasn't frightened. And in fact, I'll tell you right now, I've had almost daily contact since then, and I've never had a fearful or scary or negative experience ever in my life. And I'm 66, so that's a lot of years to go with a lot of different interactions and never having any negative one.
Why do you think that certain groups out there are how can I put it? Like you've never had a negative experience, yet there are people who are living horrible, horrible nightmares over this, Deb.
Answer, and that is, we're getting some interference.
Yeah,
I think.
that's on me. Don't worry about that.
Okay. The first answer is cultural indoctrination. Look, by the time most people who are alive today were able to, remember any kind of encounter like this. And I think everyone does, but some don't remember it. But by the time they have that first encounter, they've already been exposed to what I call the Hollywood version of ET contact or paranormal contact, which is always spectacularized and sensationalized, and usually is a fear-based story, right? There are only a handful of movies out there, for instance, or TV shows where ET or any kind of other kind of consciousness are benevolent, because, fear sells, action sells, scary stuff sells. So most people who are alive today grew up without even knowing it, being programmed to be afraid of these encounters. So that's answer number one. Answer number two is, there really, from my point of view, and you don't have to point at this, but there really is no good or evil. There's just life and the different expressions in frequency of life along a spectrum. And that spectrum then loops and is a continuous thing. Nothing is linear in life. But so if a person, for instance, has had a lot of fear-based experience in their life, even heck, Jesus Christ or Buddha could walk into the room and it'd scare the bejeebers out of them, because that's the frequency that they're in, and that's how they're going to experience interactions. Other people who are living in a more joyful, or dare I say, more open-ended type of life experience often have less fearful experiences with other consciousness, and indeed with other beings, with other humans even. There's an old story that my yoga guru used to tell, that, two kids are in a room playing with their trucks on the floor, and in runs a dog. One kid jumps up, jumps on the dog's back, lets it kiss his face, and is joyful. The other kid runs and hides in the closet because he's scared to death. Well, it's because of their indoctrination about what a dog is, or maybe their past experience of what happens to a dog. So those two things come into play. What we found in my work over the last 4 decades with these people is that when you can go into that very relaxed but focused brainwave state we call theta, through this process that I was describing, quantum hypnosis, you can go back to those experiences and you see them clearly, because your consciousness records everything you interact with, everything you encounter in your life, even the stuff you don't even notice. So you can go in there and look at that clearly, and more often than not, what you thought was terribly scary is something completely different, even opposite. And you see that in our film with our filmmaker, John. I mean, he grew up his whole life thinking he saw a small version of Ultraman in his bathroom one night when he was 7 years old. And he had a very scary experience. But when we went into his experience in quantum hypnosis, it was absolutely not anything like that. And I won't give a spoiler alert here, but I will say it was shocking to him how different it was. And even Whitley Strieber, who is in our movie, the great Whitley Strieber, who wrote Communion and many other books about this and has, millions of fans, what he first remembered, of his experiences were nothing like what was real, what really happened when he went into hypnosis and found out for sure. So,
only book I've never finished.
Oh, well, guess what? He just published for the first time the audiobook of Communion, just like last month.
Nope.
So it's a good one.
No, you know what?
Still.
It was 1999. My daughter was about 4 or 5 months old at that time, and she had woken up. And so I was kind of rocking her. It's about 2:30 in the morning, and I'm rocking her, and I'm reading the book. And
oh, wow.
And it got to the point of the book where Whitley had seen he was sitting on the aircraft or on the UFO, and he looks to the side, and his son is sitting right beside him.
Yes,
I closed that book, I threw it across the room because I have my baby daughter, I'm freaking out. It's the middle of the night, and I never opened the book again. I was so scared. So scared.
I totally get it. Well, there's that parent thing, and I had a similar experience as you, only years later. Remember the Sigourney Weaver movie, Alien?
Yes.
Alien with Giger's scary-looking alien. For those of you who might remember that, I was at the time they didn't have as good of predictive forecasting about pregnancies. So I was literally 3 weeks late delivering my child and my son. And to get my mind off it, my then husband and I went to see the debut of Alien. And of course, there's that scene where this thing bursts out of this guy's chest, looks at him with a fierce face, and then runs off, and then of course becomes this horrible creature that devastates this spaceship full of astronauts. And my baby is like writhing around and moving around in my belly at that time, and I'm like going, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? It was just the creepiest thing. And I knew my baby wasn't some fearsome thing, but I thought, what if there is something out there like this? Why am I bringing my child into the world like this? I had some weird thoughts like that, but, pregnancy brain, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I didn't have pregnancy brain on my head when that was happening, but it was protective father brain.
Yes,
let's say
absolutely.
that. And, little do you know that, some 15 years later, you get aliens yourself. So, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You just never know when them aliens are going to show up.
I know. I believe everyone has a timing mechanism for many things in their lives. Important things, pinnacle things, where they're going to have a direct experience and actually be cognizant of it. We have experiences all the time, like I said, and we don't know. In fact, as a hypnotherapist, I can say, a person can be in a traumatic auto accident and black out, maybe go unconscious, and they wake up in the hospital and they're trying to take a statement, and the policeman said, "Did you see the car at all?" And you'll say, "No, I didn't see anything. It was just like a flash of light and then blackness, and now I hurt." But if you go in with hypnotherapy or quantum hypnotherapy, you can go in there.
I get you. I totally get you. And, when you are going through this type of information, you are going through the scenarios, and people are going through those scenarios as well. As we got about just over a minute to go here before we go to break at the bottom of the hour here, Debz, it can affect people's psyches. It can affect the way they live, the way they breathe, the way they sleep, the way they eat. Everything, never mind what it does to the head. How do you work with people as we move into the second half hour? How do you work with people who are going through this type of trauma?
Well, first and foremost, we have to gain rapport with each other, and then I have to kind of teach them how to calm down and be okay with just even talking about it. And that's probably as much as we can say right now before we go to break. But there is a process, and it's a building process. It's almost like lifting spiritual weights or mental, psychic weights, so that you can be strong enough to be relaxed enough to look at it, clearly. And then once you do, the fear dissipates. Because whenever you look at something, you realize what it is for real. You're like, oh, that's all that was? Or, oh, how surprising. That was actually nothing bad.
All right, Deb, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. We're going to be in for one hell of a good show tonight, and everything from hypnotherapy to ET contact, CE5, and, of course, hair updates from Debz Shakti, how she gets a nice little curl just on the side of her face there, looking all lovely like the LA skyline in the middle of summer. Spaced Out Radio continues right after this. All right, we're clear. That binging that you heard during the show, I'm actually working with someone right now trying to figure out why I keep getting booted from the studio. Yeah.
Got it.
Dirty Filth, that picture I sent you, that's for, I had to store it somewhere. And I gotta save that image. StreamYard. Blank. Put that on the desktop. Excuse me. Deb, we are getting a little bit of crackling feedback from your headset. I don't know if that has anything. So I'm not sure why that's happening, but...
Should I try to put AirPods in? Would that be better?
Maybe.
Okay, let me try that. Hang on a sec. Let's try it. It may just my hair.
Oh, where's that phone?
Okay. Oh shoot! I bet those aren't going to pair now because we're already in the show. Crap!
That's okay. We'll battle on.
It's probably just because my hair is brushing against that mic. Is this better? Does it?
Yeah, I'm still getting a little crackling. Let me see. It's probably on my end right now.
Yeah, I haven't heard any crackling on my end, but
I'm going to.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to turn. You want to just talk to me for a quick second?
Yeah, I had some tech problems with my big broadcast system, which is over on the other side of the room, earlier this week, and I didn't trust it. So, I have a professional studio over there, but
so do
I didn't trust it for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No,
so I'm using an iPad and earbuds.
Yeah, now we're good. We're
okay.
You're sounding good now, which is good.
Okay, cool.
All right. Guys, like the guy at the other end, I send him a picture of my screen. He goes, "Is it possible that you can get a screenshot of that?" I'm like, "Bud, I'm running a fucking radio show here. Like, can you not?"
People just don't get it.
Like, can you not?
They look at things from their own perspective.
Oh my God! I'm like, I said, like generic. Yes, that's happened 3 times now in my first half hour of a 3-hour radio show that's live with 177.
I hope you're typing in cap locks, Dave. So
yeah, me too. In bold.
Can you turn off any VPNs? See, now they start talking geek. What the fuck is a VPN?
I know.
I'm sorry, my language, but
no.
I'm trying to use an incognito tab to prevent. Okay, Englishman. Please, I do not speak computer. Anxiety Levels at 99 out of 102 right now. You have no idea how much I want to take a sledgehammer to this right now.
Oh,
it just
I know.
You're not getting, and I'm going to apologize to you and the audience out there on YouTube. You're not getting my best tonight because of this audio issue. And you know, of course, if you don't know what a VPN is, then you probably aren't using one. Well, of course not. I use Google. Well, here is how to use incognito.
Gracious.
Yeah.
I hope that guy stubs his toe really bad.
Do you have a phone number which humans use to communicate and walk me through this?
And Zeus comes in.
Yeah, right.
Thor.
One second. We got some music playing here. Hey, the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio is now underway. My name is Debz Scott. Very much appreciate you tuning us on in. Want to remind you that if you missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire. Check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. We continue on tonight. Debz Shakti is here tonight with us, talking CE5, hypnotherapy, everything to do with ET contact and aliens. Debz, welcome back.
Thanks so much, Dave.
Glad to
Rock
have
on.
you here. Rock and roll, that's
I
right.
love that you love Bumblefoot. That's great.
Yeah, he's a good friend. I like him.
Neat. Oh, my God. I'm married to a guitar player, so a rock star himself. So
I did not know
we
this.
both love Bumblefoot. Yes.
Very
So that's
cool.
why I hear that music, and I'm just like,
Bumblefoot is a big fan. He's a big fan of what we do.
love it.
Yeah.
We love you too, Bumblefoot. So
Exactly. And, all right, let's continue on here with CE5s and the personal experiences people have because, you know, one of the worries and concerns that a lot of people have is how do I deal with it? How do I, you know, I'm having these weird experiences. I'm seeing owls in the middle of the night, or I get the feeling I'm never alone in the middle of the night. You know, nightmares of UFOs and other weird things happening. How do we deal with this as a human species?
well, first and foremost, I think just talking about it honestly with each other really helps. It helps dissipate that fearful energy. When you're sitting in your house all by yourself, maybe your family's around, but you're afraid to talk about it. You know, you're either embarrassed to talk about it, or you're afraid to talk about it, or you're just like so worried that you're going crazy. That's another one of those things that happens with these experiences. You know, you start not trusting your own experience, your own mind. When you're doing that, it is very easy to get caught up in a downward spiral and think that the world's going to end, or that your life's going to end, or life's going to be horrible. And then you have this chance, conversation. And that person might say, hey, we've got a group that meets once a month, and we go out in the field and actually try to have this happen, try to actually initiate this, and we have really great experiences, and they're really exciting. Why don't you join us? You go and you meet a bunch of other people, and pretty soon that negative energy starts to dissipate. You start to build trust for maybe there are, you start to believe maybe there are really good experiences out there. Maybe there is a balance, or maybe just maybe your feelings weren't even correct about your own experiences.
Deb, I'm going to get you to just kind of shake your headphones a little bit, because we are getting a little bit of robotic noise out of your headphones. I don't know what's going on tonight. I really don't know what's going on tonight. I
apologize. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my system here. You know what, Deb? We're going to rebook you. I'm so fed up for tonight. Let's just rebook you and get everything sounding properly, because obviously on my end I keep cutting out. Your audio is not working very well tonight. And I hate to ask this, but I really think we should just make sure that everything is perfect, because you have a perfect message that we need to be able to give to the audience here, and I need to get my system figured out. And and obviously, I'm trying here. I'm trying to figure it out, and it's just not working. Like so far, what we've recorded so far isn't even going to work for our radio side, which would play tomorrow night. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't keep on having dead air. And on my end when I'm cutting out. So, let's just Dirty Filth. I'm going to just go into the calendar here and see. Let me see here.
I can give Debz the call after.
August 1st or 3rd, Deb. That's a Monday or a Wednesday.
Oh, let's see. It would have to be August. Well, let me make sure that I'm in the right month here, because I'm looking at a phone, which is crazy. Oh, damn. It would have to be August 1st, just because I am traveling the rest of that week to lead one of those consciousness retreats. So, Monday, August 1st would work for me.
Okay, let me just put you in here. I'm really sorry about this. I was really much enjoying this.
Oh, me too. I just feel bad too. Well, I'm not on my regular system, and so. Yeah. But I used this all day long in my sessions today, and it was fine. So maybe our energy is just so high that we're wigging all of our tech out tonight.
Yeah, I'm about to go find a sledgehammer. And redo everything. No, we're not redoing things, Grandmaster. We don't do it that way. I am not about to take somebody as brilliant as Deb and put a shit show on for her. Okay? We're not doing that. So we're going to reschedule this, and I apologize, everyone, for the issues, and this rarely happens. So, and of course, StreamYard doesn't have any human beings to talk to. They just want to do the text bullshit. So, Debz, we're going to get you. We've got you rescheduled for August 1st, which is a Monday. I thank you for doing that. I'm going to let you go get some sleep, and then you can stay up another late night with us in about a week and a half here.
It'll be my pleasure, and I hope that you feel better after that, too. Well, we'll get it all worked out.
Yeah, we'll get it all worked out. Thank you, Deb, and to our YouTube audience, I really do apologize, and to our Spreaker audience and our podcast audience, we'll get this rescheduled. Hopefully, we'll still be able to get things rolling for tomorrow night and work out the technical issues that we are apparently having. And Dirty Filth will say goodnight to you, my friend. Yeah, I guess he's not there. Okay. Debz, thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Back-to-school shopping can be stressful, and it costs a lot to keep up with everything your kid wants and needs. Or it would, if you weren't shopping at Amazon. From backpacks and notebooks to stylish new outfits, Amazon has everything your kid needs to conquer the classroom, with prices that don't conquer your wallet. Amazon. Spend less. Smile more.
This podcast is supported by Hulu. You know Victoria's Secret. Now it's time to uncover the hidden side of the business. From award-winning writer and director Matt Tyrnauer, watch his first-hand accounts reveal how the underworld of fashion, the billionaire class, and CEO Les Wexner's close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein all led a vision of heaven into hell. Don't miss Victoria's Secret, Angels and Demons, streaming now on Hulu.